And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show. Look, it seems that this week's major talking point for MAGA pundits, wait for it, yep, the No Kings rally this weekend. And holy crap, that topic is prevalent, especially on Fox News. Now, it's time for a check-in on Trump's propaganda news channel. And I do want to show you the misinformation that they are spreading about the upcoming protests. I mean, some truly ironic things coming out of, for example, Pam Bondi's mouth, as well as, wait for this one, a special guest who actually hopped on with Sean Hannity. Now, let's start with No Kings. Steve Scalise said that the rally is a Hate America rally. No, yeah, Steve Scalise, Representative Scalise, said that the No Kings protest is actually a I Hate America rally. Play the clip.
Even during a time where the contrast of Chuck Schumer throwing a temper tantrum here at home just to appease the most radical elements of his base, so that on the 18th, when they have the Hate America rally that everybody knows is coming, and that everybody knows Chuck Schumer needs to deliver a shutdown government to them to appease them. Well, how about you think about us? How about you think about those families?
Yeah. How about you think about the families? Look, it's why I constantly say we must put an end to this stupidity. So do me a favor, as we're on our journey to 500,000 subscribers when getting there, slowly, but getting there, subscribe, watch, comment. Please keep the comments coming and share with family and friends because we have no choice. Otherwise, we have to listen to that crazy stupidity all day long. Talk about stupidity. Scott Bessent went running onto Squawk Box, talking about how the No Kings is the most unhinged thing in the Democratic Party, and the protest equals no paychecks. Play the clip.
We're on day 15, and it doesn't look like there's any sign of a deal.
Well, you know, there's a thought out there that they're at least waiting to, this crazy No Kings rally this weekend, which is going to be the farthest left, the hardest core, the most unhinged in the Democratic Party, which is, a big title. And, no kings equal no paychecks. We are paying our military today. The Pentagon went into surplus funds and will be able to make the paychecks. And,
Unbelievable. Again, it's hard to imagine that we have to sit there, listen to this shit, and then swallow it. Representative Pat Harrigan went on and literally rambled about how the protest is a blue hair anthropomorphic experiment. Yay. Play the clip.
Because I just didn't see an off-ramp here. I think there are a couple natural off-ramps for the Democrats to take with this. I think one of them happens after this No Kings rally this weekend. That's the blue hair anthropomorphic, experiment that's going to happen up here in Washington, D.C.
Holy. I mean, I understand that they're angry that there's this 2,000 rallies in different locations that are going to be covered, and the GOP propaganda machine is going to take second fiddle to it. So I get it, because they like to control all the news all the time. Well, sure. There's more. Now, Pam Bondi goes on Fox with Sean Hannity. And of course, like I said, talking about the No Kings, they talk about how organized Antifa is. This again, the Attorney General of the United States of America making a claim that organized Antifa is responsible for this. Play the clip.
Well, sure. And that's one of the things about Antifa. You've heard President Trump say multiple times they are organized. They are a criminal organization, and they're very organized. You're seeing people out there with thousands of signs that all match pre-bought, pre-put together. They're organized, and someone is funding it. We're going to get to the funding of Antifa. We're going to get to the root of Antifa, and we are going to find and charge all of those people who are causing this chaos in Portland and all these other cities across our country. Talk to all the influencers who have been threatened and beat up and their lives threatened from Antifa members. It's going to stop under Donald Trump.
Okay. So you could only imagine if government actually put any resources into finding out who is Antifa, who's the organizer, who created this organization, and so on, how fast they would be able to come up with that answer, especially as the Attorney General of the United States using the FBI and Secret Service and the CIA. Really? There's a reason why that they cannot and they never will be able to find out who created Antifa as an organization, or who the members of Antifa are. And the reason for that is because it doesn't exist. Antifa is a concept. It's not an organization like the Ku Klux Klan or the NRA, where there's actually a headquarters, there's a president, a vice president, a secretary, a treasurer, there's a board. There is no such thing. It's a boogeyman made up by the GOP. And this is our attorney general sitting there regurgitating the lie. And by the way, since we're talking about lies, you want to talk about lies? How about matching signs? They all talk about, oh, everybody there holding up matching signs. It's funded by somebody. Let's talk about matching signs. Let me show you a photo. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Looks like matching signs to me. How about another one? Oh, holy crap, matching signs. Wow. Now look, Bondi also tried to claim that Trump has actually improved LA thanks to his usage of the National Guard. Play that clip.
I guess he talked about if they will not enforce the law, if they will not keep American citizens safe in towns and cities, that it may result in him invoking the Insurrection Act. Let's talk about the legality of that.
Sure. He absolutely has the right to do that, the legal authority to do that. We didn't have to do it in Los Angeles. They came in, they cleaned up the riots. You saw, look how much better LA is after the president brought in the National Guard. But look at Portland, look at Chicago. They're sanctuary cities, they're sanctuary states. They are forbidding in Chicago, this mayor, Brandon Johnson, is forbidding the police to work with ICE to get illegal aliens off the streets. Here's one.
Yes. Again, it's so hard to believe that this is our attorney general spewing these talking points. Now, remember I was teasing who the special guest on Hannity's show was? Well, let me announce. It was Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump. Eric, of course, spoke about how his father has the House, how he controls the Senate and the majority of the Supreme Court. Two things. Number one, why are we still then in a shutdown? You control everything. Why are you blaming it on Democrats? And two, isn't the Supreme Court of the United States meant to be impartial? Aren't they supposed to be bipartisan? Play the clip.
Sean, the media is dead. The left is dead. Woke is dead. DEI is dead. My father killed it all, and he happens to be sitting back in the Oval Office with the House, with the Senate, with a 6-3 majority on the Supreme Court, obviously the executive branch, a weakened media, which I never thought you would have otherwise seen.
What's dead are your brain cells? Because number one, that's not a government that you're referring to. What you're referring to is a dictatorship. Eric, of course, also goes and rants about Jack Smith. You can't make this stuff up. Hear me on this one. He starts to rant about Jack Smith planting classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. You remember the big raid? Definitely. Jack Smith plants classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. Well, Eric, let's fact check you for a quick second here. Okay? The Mar-a-Lago raid was on August 8th of 2022. It wasn't until 3 months later, sometime November 18th, to be exact, that Jack Smith was appointed special counsel. You may want to retract that previous statement, pal. Play the clip.
Same thing. I mean, they dug so deep with, the whole Russia hoax that Hillary found herself. Same thing with Jack Smith. He dug so deep that, we found out that he was actually planting classified folders in Mar-a-Lago. Same.
Whoa. He actually was planting. You found those documents? Really? The raid that took place 3 months before Jack Smith was even involved? You found those documents? I'll tell you what there, pal. Why don't you put it out there for the American people? If in fact that you are right about that, I will be the first one to go on television. I will apologize. Okay. And better than that, you know what else? You know what else I'll do? I will actually assist in ensuring that Jack Smith is held accountable if they are legitimately planting. If you have documents that state that he was there planting documents at Mar-a-Lago, how stupid. Eric, of course, goes on and claims that Letitia James has a felon living in her house. Of course, he's referring to her grandniece, who does have a felon. Absolutely accurate. But with that logic, well, maybe Eric, your dad shouldn't be living in the people's house. Play the clip.
She ran on the promise of getting Trump, of taking us down, of going into the office of Attorney General every day, suing us and going home. And those are her exact words. And, you know, Sean, the great irony of life is, you know, she dug so deep, she ended up finding herself. I mean, somebody who's apparently committed mortgage fraud, and somebody apparently has a felon living in their home right now. Clearly, you're not allowed to do that. But it's really no different than...
Whoa. First of all, why can't you have a felon living in your home? I'm a little confused about that one. I'm living in my home. But putting all that aside, I'm not going to argue with you about whether she did or she did not commit mortgage fraud. You've heard me say this on MSNBC, on CNN just days ago. If in fact she did, and I believe that they probably have those documents, if she did, she needs to be held accountable just as anyone. It wasn't me, it was her who got up onto the podium, and I'm talking about Tish James, got up onto the podium and stated no one is above the law. Because I can assure you, each and every one of you, if you committed that mortgage fraud, government would be on top of you, as they say, like white on rice. Now, finally, Eric puffs out his chest, proudly says that he has gotten the most subpoenas in American history. You really believe that there? Do you know how many I've gotten? Maybe you're second, but to take the number one spot, I don't know. I think you and I have to compare notes. Play the clip.
Trump, the guy had an absolute backbone that was unbreakable, but they came after me. They came after me because I didn't have executive protections. I got 112 subpoenas, the most subpoenas in American history for any one person. They did everything they...
Yeah, sure. 112? I'd like to see that because I don't think you testified 112 times. What were the subpoenas for? It's why I constantly say, my friends, please, help me to grow this community. I can only do it through you. I've organically grown this as big as I believe I possibly can. With your help, though, we can go so much bigger. We can put an end to this sort of stupidity once and for all, protect our democratic republic. So help me. Hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share. Share with family and friends because this stuff has to come to an end. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.